And we're continuing where we left off.
Mr. President, if you asked a woman who had been denied the help she needed to feed her children because you said you needed the money for a tax break for a millionaire or for a missile we couldn't afford to use.
But the sheeple never learn. They love to be screwed by people who own them. They will never learn. Never, ever, ever.
You shouldn't have to feel guilty about refusing to throw
See,
it
this
away
is how good they are at manipulating stupid people.
And choose not to work. That's what he said. He said it with an elegance.
They said it with an elegance.
Kind of benign aspect that disguised its harshness.
I prefer to call it an asshole-ish quality, not a benign aspect.
If we can work together now to look after the lives of the people here, I don't see why we couldn't work together afterwards to clear up the mess and help build a better world in which these things can't possibly happen.
Oh, but Americans don't want to build a better world. They want to buy more consumer crap with their credit cards.
That the new world will be built.
That same idea of marshalling the collective force of the masses to challenge the entrenched power of wealth and business.
Haha, wealth and business will never give up.
After the war.
They will always screw you over and they will always win. Because they have these asshole genes. They have these genetics that will always make them just overpower any selflessness.
Blue just about everywhere, sweeping the country.
See?
Rural parts of Britain now gone.
For they are the party of yesterday, and tomorrow is ours.
In the face of this, a growing number within the Labour Party became convinced that if they were ever to regain power, Labour would have to come to terms with the new individualism.
Yeah, they'd have to get stupider. They'd have to cater to the needs of stupid people. Because the people are so stupid, they will vote against their own class interests. That's how stupid they are.
They denigrated and disapproved of the new aspirations of working class voters.
Labour stopped listening to these people. And I remember the best example...
It's probably a good idea, you know, don't listen to them because they're all idiots.
The election, above all, where the people's voices just were not heard. And I had dinner with a leading Labour Party figure who'd been involved in the defeat, heavily involved.
Yeah, and after dinner they had sex with prostitutes with taxpayer money.
People, they just, you know, we give them education, we give them chances in life. What do? They read the Sun and they just don't vote for us. And there was such a gap.
Oh, yes, we need to treat them like crap. Because they're just dumb people. They're dumb sheeple to be owned by the elite. So let's just give up on them.
Of the Labour Party.
Yeah, that's a wonderful rationalization.
That had to be filled.
Gould
You're going to
became
fill
part
it
of a
with
small group
something,
of
I can
modernisers
tell you that.
Centred around Peter Mandelson. Their aim was to reconnect Labour with the lost voters. To do this, Gould turned to the technique he knew well from his work in advertising, the focus group.
Freud's techniques.
Suburban areas
Yeah.
across the country with small groups of voters who had switched to Mrs. Thatcher. People were encouraged not to talk rationally about policies.
Yeah, don't talk rationally. The dumb sheeple aren't capable of rational thought. So let's just skip that. Let's go straight to being a dumbass.
They no longer saw themselves as part of any group, but as individuals who could demand things from
I'm a sheeple. I'm an individual sheeple. I'm important. Look at me. La la la. I'm so stupid. Look at me.
And I found that the people had become consumers. People now wanted to have, you know, politics and life on their own terms. I mean, not just in politics, but in all aspects of life.
Yes, they want to have their own terms of being screwed over.
Autonomous, powerful individuals who are entitled to be respected.
And screwed over.
The best, not just in...
And in debt, and with no options, and no freedom.
To Tesco's or wherever, but the best in terms of health and in education too. All this was about getting the Labour Party to understand the people really...
Yeah, to win the election. That's what it was about. It was about winning. It's about money. It's about money. You want money. That's the bottom line, and we all know it.
Have to make concessions to what he called the new aspirational classes.
Yeah, they're so stupid. We need to make our policies even stupider to cater to their stupidity. That's pretty much it.
For Labour to promise not to put up taxes. but the Shadow Chancellor, John Smith,
Yeah, we're going to offer them more services and outraise taxes. Oh, that's a brilliant
they would
idea.
fight the election with the promise of tax increases to create a fairer society. And as the campaign began, it seemed as if Philip Gould...
No, let's not tax rich people. Oh, that's a horrible idea.
consistently showed Labour ahead. Despite
I'll
the
just
Conservative
bend over and let
campaign
them screw me and
the
not
Labour
pay
government
taxes.
would put up taxes. Even the Conservatives' oldest allies in the press became convinced that by harping on about tax, the Conservatives were cutting their own throats.
So the worry about the Tories must be that they're not at the moment conveying a sense of grip and being in control. And unless they can do better than that, I think they're going to lose.
The other thing is that they still say that they are going to go on and on with this one single message of tax. And I think, part of the difficulty this morning was that you had a whole lot of...
You see, dumb sheeple only care about money to buy things they don't need. They don't care about anything else. They have the short-term memory of a soap dish. Okay, they can't think about the future because they're so stupid.
And the Labour Party, too, was convinced it would win and finally return to power.
It's now time
No, they're not going to
meet
win.
the men and women who will form...
You know why? Because they're working in the best interests of the people. That's why they're not going to win. Alright? The business elite will not let that happen. They'll spend any amount of money to subjugate the masses to their will. That's the bottom
By
line.
modern presentation, they would attract back the voters, yet keep the old policies. But Philip Gould was convinced that Labour were going to lose.
Because the people are so stupid.
The very people who were telling the traditional pollsters they would vote Labour
They're so stupid.
were in reality
They will vote against their own interests. That's how stupid
but they were too embarrassed to
the
admit.
British sheeple are.
And John Major also knew this, because his
Look at
voters
me with my little
telling him the same
microphone.
thing.
Oh, my megaphone. Oh, look at me. I'm screwing over the dumb sheeple. Look at my private jet. Oh, don't worry, they're stupid. That's why they'll vote for me. They're so stupid. Don't worry, they're stupid enough. Don't worry. I'll win, they're stupid.
Anyway, come on. No, lads, you must sit down. We're ready to go.
John Major's victory in 1992
Just proved the stupidity of the masses.
A small group of reformers centred around Peter Mandelson and Philip Gould.
And the Labour Party just said, you know what, let's stop caring about the people, because they're this stupid.
But their ideas were rejected by John Smith, who had now become leader.
See, the rose is dying right
Gould
now.
left Britain to go to work for the campaign to elect Bill Clinton president in America.
The 1992 election, during it and afterwards, people felt under great strain and really did feel demoralised and dejected. And then to go from this to the Clinton campaign, it was an extraordinary...
No, I wouldn't call that demoralized and dejected. I would call that reality. They had a good sense of reality of how bad they've been screwed by the business elite. They actually looked at reality for once, and they went out of Candyland, their little fantasy
Reclaim
world.
the future for the middle class and restore the American dream. Vote for Bill Clinton in New Hampshire and send a signal to the country that we are coming together.
What Gould discovered was that, like the Labour Party, the Democrats had also been doing focus groups with swing voters. The difference was that Bill Clinton had decided to tailor his policies to fit with these voters' desires. Above all, with their ferocious belief that they
Wow,
could
I'm
only
so
pay tax
stupid. Look
for
at
things
me.
that
Oh,
benefited them.
I don't even know what's
Not
in my
for
best
welfare
interests
public.
anymore. I'm so
I have
stupid.
no idea what percentage.
This is
of
the
my
biggest
tax dollars
idiot in the
go to
world.
Welfare, but even if it's a minuscule percentage, even if it's a quarter of a percent, it's still too much for the people that are receiving these benefits that are basically non-productive.
Please kill yourself. I hope you die when you lose your job and you're looking for food in a dumpster, you moron. Oh, God, I hope he dies a horrible death through starvation. I'll leave you on that note. Thanks. Okay, we're going to pick up where we left off. This is one of my favorite parts of the Century of the Self video. It shows how dumb people are. It's Thatcher's speech on how you're free. And we all know you're not free.
A man's right to work as he will,
Work as he will.
earns, to own
Spend what little
property,
money
to
he
have the
earns.
state as servant and
Yeah,
not
the
as
state is his
master.
servant.
They are the essence
That's a
of
big
free
joke.
economy. And on that freedom, all our other freedoms depend.
Oh, but by the way, you have no freedom.
Thatcher's vision was of a society in which the wants and desires of millions of individuals would be satisfied through the free market.
It's
This,
not
she
free.
believed, would be the engine to regenerate Britain.
Thanks for getting the door for me. I
The
appreciate it.
advertising and marketing industries flourished. Their task was to find out what the British people really wanted and then sell it to them.
They want to be slaves to corporations, right? Yeah, that's what I guessed.
And those who ran them borrowed from the techniques of psychotherapy to delve ever deeper into people's
Now go
feelings
use Freud's
about
techniques that were meant to help people to screw them over.
Trying to understand how people feel about brands, how they relate to brands.
Okay, this is Satan right here. That's why he wears a red sweater. You can't quite see the horns on his head. If you look really close, you can see the horns.
Getting to that.
And the fires of hell in the background.
The consumer is given crayons.
See, the consumer's an idiot. That's why they get crayons. They have the intelligence of a preschooler. That's why they play around with crayons.
Drinkers expressing their feelings about drinking.
Oh, this is funny right here.
Here you see a rich, very female aspect of
Yeah,
drinking.
it's a vagina. Okay, yeah. They're sexually repressed idiots. They're sexually repressed morons. And that makes them even easier to manipulate.
Surrounded with magazines and chocolates like a 50s starlet.
Out of this research,
Right.
marketeers began to detect a new individualism.
A newer, stupider
Among those who voted
individualism.
Conservative for the first time in 1979.
Yeah, they got
They no longer
stupider.
wanted to be seen as part of social classes, but to express themselves.
Yeah, they're gonna pretend that they're rich. They're gonna take out loans they can't pay back. Because they're greedy and delusional.
Towards what might be called individualism, where people wanted to still be part
Okay,
of the
shut
crowd,
up,
but to
Stephen
express
Wells.
themselves
Just
as
shut the hell up.
individuals within it, to have their own personalities, to be, I suppose, their
Yeah, you
own
beat
man.
them over the head with propaganda so much they became delusional. This is how delusional the sheeple became.
Different, a little bit individual.
It's quite individual upstairs. It's not remarkable, but I think it's quite individual.
Idiot.
It is
It's
expensive.
Italian.
It's Italian, it's expensive, it's good quality.
A little bit different.
Yeah, we want to set our own standard.
Yeah, you're stupid.
Nobody else has
You're
got
an
what we've
idiot.
got.
You're a moron.
Didn't want it.
Be the same as everybody else.
Yeah, you want to be different. You want to be a different sheeple. That's what you want
This
to be.
new individualism. And it soon
The
became
new
one of the main
dumbass
forces
individualism
driving
is
the
more
growing
like it.
consumer boom in Britain. Using the data from the focus groups, manufacturers created new ranges of products that allow people to express their individuality.
As sheeple consumers. Ooh, I'm gonna use my credit card at 80%
They're not divided by
interest.
social class, but by their inner psychological needs.
They have the psychological need to get raped by corporations and bankers.
In the esteem of others, then it's aspirers. If it's control, it's succeeders. And if it's self-esteem, it's reformers.
And this new marketing culture began to take over the institutions previously dominated by a patrician elite, in particular the world of journalism.
Yeah, you don't need information. Yeah, you don't want to be educated. Let's keep it at a 6th grade level. Let's keep journalism at a 6th grade level so we can keep the sheeple nice and stupid. So if I use a word with more than 2 syllables, they'll be too stupid to pay attention.
Was another member of the Freud family, Matthew Freud, the son of the Liberal MP Clement.
See, the Freuds just keep on
What Freud
reproducing.
and other PRs realised
They're like a
was that
virus.
they could use their celebrities as levers to infiltrate advertising into the editorial content of newspapers. The newspapers were offered exclusive interviews with celebrities, but only if they also agreed to mention products made by Freud's corporate clients. In
Right.
terms dictated by the company.
See, all your desires are bullcrap. You've been manipulated puppets your entire life, America. You've been slaves your entire life. And you love it. You love being a slave.
So if, for example, you did want to write about Caprice's passion for stuffed crust pizza, you would sign a contract which guaranteed that you would mention the firm Pizza Hut in at least twice in certain positions in the introductory paragraph of the article, that you would agree to run the Pizza Hut logo at such and such a size in such and such a place.
So do you know how business-like your manipulation is? They got it down to the tiniest detail.
You would
So they got it down to the tiniest detail about how you have no freedom, and your thoughts and desires and your dreams, they're not your own, they're big businesses.
To traditional journalists, this infiltration of advertising into the editorial pages was a corruption of their profession.
Corruption is just the tip of the iceberg.
The Sun and the Times. It was part of a democratic revolution.
A democratic revolution, my ass.
Too long ignored the feelings of the masses.
They hate to see someone communicating with the masses.
I hope it rains liquid crap on you. I hope it rains liquid crap on you. I hope there's a little cloud that follows you wherever you go, Rupert Murdoch. I hope it rains liquid crap out of that cloud until you die.
It's a typical piece of slanting and elitism.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, elitism. Oh, yeah.
In order to get viewers for this program, I put on a very sexy episode of Star Trek, which I was watching out in the room there.
Oh, I don't think they put it on.
Yeah, you were masturbating to it, okay? Because you're a pervert. A pervert who likes to manipulate people and screw them over.
By the late 80s,
you're a sadistic manipulator, and you love it.
They brought the desires of the individual to the center of society. As last week's episode showed, it was the same transformation that President Reagan had brought about in America.
Transformation is a very nice word. I'd like to call it getting to screw you more.
Fulfilling the needs of the people.
Needs of the people. Yes, they need to be screwed over.
Satisfaction of their desires was the overriding priority.
Boy, she looks stupid.
To Thatcher and Reagan, this was a new and better form of democracy.
Oh, I'm Ronald Reagan. I'm going to lie to you some more about how you have freedom. Oh, I'm going to pretend to be a good old grandfather to you while I fund the military-industrial complex.
Reagan and Margaret Thatcher both embraced an economic philosophy that says the unit of judgment was not only the individual, but it was the individual's personal satisfaction, the individual's own unique happiness and well-being.
Yeah, right.
It was, in a sense, the triumph.
Lead the sheeple, lead them around. Make them think they have control of their lives, but they don't. They don't have control of diddly squat.
Unconsciously. It goes way back to the early part of the 20th century.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Edward Bernays, we just talked about that.
The unconscious, the assumptions that we are, in terms of our rational minds, we're little corks bobbing around on this great sea of hopes and fears and desires of which we are only dimly aware.
And you know what? People like you take a big piss in that sea.
Somebody's selling something.
You take a big piss on all of us. Because we're just corks to you, that's all we are. We're just little corks in that sea that you pollute with your piss.
The left.
That's okay, we're just corks.
The way to create a better society was not to treat people as emotional, isolated individuals, but to persuade them to realize that they had common interests with others, to help them rise above their individual feelings.
That would be ideal. That would be ideal. This is the only good president the United States has ever had, because he's the only one who gave a crap about you, okay? And you know what you did? You made him look bad, because you're idiot sheeple. You actually wanted to privatize Social Security. People actually wanted to do that. Okay? That's just stupid.
In America, in the Depression of the 1930s.
Give your money to criminals on Wall Street. Oh, that's a wonderful idea.
The Wall Street crash encouraged Americans to join together in trades unions, to set up consumer groups, and to pay for a welfare system for those trapped in poverty. His aim was to create a collective awareness.
See, the bankers never liked FDR for that. The bankers hated FDR. fact, they wanted to fund a coup against him because they want all that money for themselves, because they're greedy. The businessmen who own this country want more money, and they'll never be satisfied. They want to own every single sheeple 100% with interest.
In the faces that you don't see. Maybe, Mr. President, if you stopped in at a shelter in Chicago and spoke to the homeless there.
Yep, but the rich will never do that. They don't care about you, and we all know it.